এখন এই সেমিনারে আমি বক্তব্য রাখার জন্য অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি কমরেড ডাক্তার Vasudeva Kurup Prasad. Now we request Comrade Vasudeva Kurup Prasad from Kerala, left activist from Kerala.
The distinguished comrades in the dais, the senior comrades who are seeing in my friend, comrades and friends. I don't know Bengali. I can only speak in English. Comrades, first of all, I express my revolutionary greetings to Prasad leadership for inviting me, as well as taking initiative to organize such a grand program, I think, which will continue in future also, and that will create the necessary preconditions for the left movement to come out of the present impasse that has been created at the international level. The regional cooperation, as I understood, has some more merits than the cooperation at the international level, where traveling and all these things are involved. Here, at regional level, comrades can often exchange more, meet together more, and that will create, that will strengthen internationalism more, and the struggle will be intensified in that way, I think in that way. Comrades, this is the centenary year of the October Revolution. There is no need of, I think, there is no need of explaining the merits of the October Revolution, at least for me to explain to this august house. Everybody, as I sense, are left activists, they know what October Revolution has achieved, what type of life the October Revolution has created, not only in Soviet Union, but also in other socialist countries. There is no need of me to express that, I think. On the other hand, the point we have to ponder into is that after some years, or after 70 years, the October Revolution has failed. The Soviet Union collapsed, the socialist system collapsed, and we have to go into that matter, and with the purpose that we will be able to create favorable condition to go forward. So to scientifically look into the question, why this has collapsed, why this has happened, the reasons behind that, and how we can go forward. You see, October Revolution has created such a condition that it offered the best conditions for workers in the world, the best quality of life in the world. The women's rights were, even in advanced capitalist countries, were granted after October Revolution upon the push created by the political atmosphere from the then Russia. The women were given political rights in that way in the European advanced countries in 1920s or 30s during that time. You know all these things. The point is that even after all these things, there occurred the reversal. We have to look into that. Some people say that it is due to the obsession of some freedom or some other such a type of things, the October Revolution collapsed. No, at least there is no logic in that. If you are looking all these, in all these socialist countries, the counter-revolution happened in a different way. In Soviet Union or Eastern Europe, this has came basically from within the party. It has not came due to the struggle of the people for long years against the leadership or against the state power that has existed in the Soviet Union. It has came from within the party. After in 1986 onwards, the Gorbachev and his counter-revolutionary clique that has came with the program of perestroika and glasnost, which is the blueprint for counter-revolution, and that has imposed. It was not due to the people's struggle that has been collapsed. On the other hand, the struggle that has been there inside the party against the blueprint of counter-revolution, that has been dismantled by the particular way in which the leadership operates, the particular way in which the communist parties functioned during that time. That is the fact. If you are looking till earlier times, till backwards into the history of the communist movement, you can see when, say, the revisionist policies that came in Soviet Union or China, the Soviet Union, at least all the bona fide left in the world, considered that from 1956, from the 20th Congress of the CPSU onwards, the Soviet Communist Party has taken the deviation to the right side, ultimately leading to the collapse of the socialist system. But what happened to those who have opposed these revisionist policies at the 20th Congress? At least dozens of comrades, the leaders who were opposed, like Mulatov, Kaganovich, Bulganin, Voroshilov, many comrades were expelled who were the very important leaders of the Soviet time. And through this process, the revisionism got consolidated in the Soviet Union. The question I was entering is that this needs a re-examination into the whole functioning of the communist organization, first of all. This happened not only in Soviet Union, this has happened in China. Those who were in the leadership of the Chinese Cultural Revolution, which is a giant event, they were also eventually expelled after the usurpation of power by the Deng Xiaoping, the right-wing leadership of the party. That everybody knows. Then the point is that this understanding, the way in which the communist parties functioned, that is to be re-examined. You see, just after the collapse of the Paris Commune, there occurred a similar, say, atmosphere of reaction throughout the world. After the death of Marx and Engels, the same continuation, same atmosphere more or less continued, and the Second International in the process compromised with world imperialism and in the process collapsed. By repeating the old teachings of Marx or Engels, the communist movement could not have gone forward. That has been to an extent done by Kautsky and later to a greater extent by Plekhanov. But we have to see here that the systematic struggle that has been initiated by Comrade Lenin to develop Marxism in an all-round way, that has created the favorable condition for the spread of revolution throughout the world. There, he has created a concept of organization that is new. He has fought in the field of newer inventions in science, philosophy. Everywhere Comrade Lenin has fought, evaluated imperialism in the economic area. So altogether, he has developed Marxism to a new stage. A new understanding has been created to fight the old. That has created the favorable condition for the onward march of revolution. I think in the present condition also, if the revolution has collapsed, then or revolution has failed, then there is some reasons for that, and we have to very honestly re-examine into that, and we have to develop a struggle is to be initiated to develop Marxism in an all-round way. New concepts, necessary concepts are to be created in all these areas. I don't think without that we will be able to march forward in the long run. I do respect this particular convention and the initiative taken by Prasad leadership, that I think this will go in that direction, and that this will create a favorable condition for achieving that objectives in the long run. You see, if you are looking into the functioning of the Russian Communist Party, the RSDLP, as well as later the Bolshevik Party, that was entirely different up to 1921 from what we are seeing as the organizational practices of today. The Russian Communist Party, before that RSDLP also, Lenin defined the concept of democratic centralism as the right to criticize and unity in action. Lenin has not elaborated that very much in so many articles, only one article and many references are there. And in that, if you are examining that 1906 article by Lenin after the Unity Congress of the RSDLP, in which the Mensheviks and the Bolsheviks unified into a single entity at Stockholm Conference, Lenin elaborates the concept of democratic centralism as the right to criticize the leadership in an open forum, the right to criticize leadership in the public meeting. It was an open theoretical struggle that was advocated by Lenin, and in later period that has gone away from the communist movement due to the historical reasons, I do admit. So, say 1921 they advocated the banning of factions and the election according to the factions in the Soviet Communist Party, Bolshevik Party, 4 years after the revolution, and that has become later the standard practice throughout the communist movement in the world. The consequence of this is that the leadership will operate in a particular way. Below the levels, whoever is fighting revisionism, whoever is fighting the deviation of leadership, they will not get an opportunity to fight. They will not, that opposition will be systematically demolished at each stage, and ultimately what happens is that the party will enter into, party leadership may work in a cliquist form, in a bureaucratic form, and that will eventually lead to the collapse of the party itself, of the socialist system itself. This has not happened in one party alone. The problem is that if you look into the history of Leninist parties, Leninist model of party conception, at least to say 1/3 of the world has become socialistic, everybody knows. And everywhere the Leninist model of the party was there. It is not in one country the collapse happened, it has happened everywhere. Again, the opposite is also correct. Without a Leninist model of the party, nowhere in the world, even the mild degree of success has been made. So Leninist model of party in certain respects are very much essential by avoiding, by bypassing that the communists cannot go forward, while we have to take into cognizance that that has collapsed in the process also. This is a problem. So where we have failed, where our understanding has become insufficient, I think this is a thing that is to be pondered into. You see, if you are looking into the history of the communist movement again, you see, throughout the socialist world or throughout the communist parties, the first generation, the leadership that was created the communist parties like Lenin or Stalin or Mao or in different other countries, they have emerged into very leaders of very high capacity, to the level of philosophers, to the level of very efficient organizers. But in none of the communist parties, the third generation has repeated that. And in second generation itself, most of the communist parties, that has created a sub-quality or a leadership which has become inadequately qualified, that the historical events points to. Here, I would like to, first of all, say a scientific point from the researchers into the neuroscience, that from where the higher understanding comes, the higher concepts come, higher ideas come. To my understanding, that again follows the very concepts of dialectics, the very philosophical basis of Marxism, that this is due to the internal contradiction in the mind. The laws of dialectics is operating very much in the formation of newer ideas, newer thinking. The intense contradiction leads to the higher ideas to generate and negating the world. Here negation of negation is there, the unity of the opposites is there between two sides, and the quantitative change and the qualitative change is there. Through so many historical incidents you can examine into that, why Archimedes has run in that way without any clause, how to explain the tension a scientist has gone through, it has been explained in science. So higher thinking comes in that way. So without contradiction being created inside the party or inside the system, the higher ideas, and as the reflection of the higher ideas, the higher leadership, that cannot be created. I think the communist parties in some or other way failed in that. Is in the present condition, my reading upon that. Recently, from the Vasudeva comrades, I have gone through an article that has been published about a particular way in which a particular communist party's leadership has been projected by tampering of the documents and forging new documents, saying that they have created something new or something they have contributed to Marxism. But this has been done through tampering and forging of the documents, earlier documents. Yes, I don't have any doubt that it's the most shameful act that can happen in the history of any communist movement. Keep it away, in any honest movement, in science or anywhere, very bad thing. But why it has happened? Why they have been pushed to tamper the documents, forge the documents in that way. You see, the particular organizational concept demanded that demanded superhuman leadership that is beyond all mistakes, that will stand above the people. Without such leadership, that the organization cannot go forward. So this particular action also flows from our organizational concepts. I think we have to fight these concepts in theoretical field also. This how I am able to understand the things. In this way, the Soviet Communist Party, as well as, means I am not explaining the question of one party, but the whole party, all of the Leninistic communist parties have degenerated, giving birth to, say, bureaucratism or cult of the individual, different types of problems in the communist movement, and this has created the favorable condition for the collapse of the communist movement in the world. This is not the one and only problem. I have only explained one thing. Why? Because there occurred some other things. Like, say, in science, there occurred no, means in certain areas there occurred no development. Yesterday we were discussing that if you are examining the history of the Soviet socialism, that has created exemplary development in technological areas. That has sent people first to the space. In that way, means created the exceptional military power. Technologically, they have gone much forward. But if you are looking into the three major scientific inventions, scientific contributions in the last century we have seen, I'll say the three important things are on quantum physics, then second, relativity theory, third, Mendel's theory of genetics. All the three inventions in that way were negatively approached by the Soviet science and opposed by that. Later, there occurred so much experimental evidence that the Soviet science during that time didn't accept even the concept of genes. They have projected on Lysenko against that, and that has become, means, the science. Later today, what type of experiments are going on, or what type of research you are getting in genetic engineering, different area of genetics that you know, it has reached to gene mapping different areas. But the Soviet science couldn't. Why it has happened? The problem, if you are looking into that, there you can see some other problem with the science itself. Here also I see the root cause of the problem to be the lowering of standard, the inadequacy in developing the thinking process. I think that is the bypassing of the contradiction that is needed for development of the thinking process. I only pointing out that we have to think of developing our understanding on the question of organization also. That will create favorable condition for development, not only in question of the strategy tactics for these things, but in all areas of life. That Marxism is to be developed in all areas of life. That will create favorable condition for the onward march of the working class movement further. And I expect that this initiative created by Prasad will create that atmosphere in the future. I am very much hopeful upon the leadership to do that, and with this I end my speech. Thank you, and Inquilab Sindabad, long live October Revolution.